welcome back to another one of my live streams. I am so excited tonight for two reasons. Number one, we're going to be playing with color and doing a super bold look. And number two, my special guest tonight is one of my very best friends, Maggie, and she is also a makeup artist. So tonight is going to be super fun. And not only is she a makeup artist, she's also an esthetician. So we're going to talk about skin, we're going to talk about makeup. It's going to be super fun. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Whoop. Okay, so we're going to use, I just ordered the new KKW and Mario palette.
So pretty.
It is pretty. And I mainly ordered it for this blue color. It's amazing. And that's what we're going to do today.
That's it. Just the blue color.
Totally.
It's amazing.
All the other colors are pretty neutral. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
But that blue is amazing.
It's spectacular.
It's so pretty. It's honestly, it's hard to find a good blue that's like very universal because blue is not a flattering color. Like most people cannot pull off blue. Maggie does. Maggie is one of the very few that looks good in grays and blues and silver, like those colors that are so pretty but so hard to pull off. But this blue I feel like is pretty universally flattering, and so we're going to do a super bold smoky eye look with it. So I'm starting just by defining the crease with the neutral brown color. In most palettes that you get, there's always going to be some sort of a brown, and it's always going to be good for transition color. But because we're doing this super blue color, you want to be really careful with the other colors you're laying down because this color has an orange undertone and the blue obviously has like a cool blue undertone. So if you get too muddy with your shadows and you're over blending, it's going to kind of turn green like where they connect. And that's no bueno. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that. And Maggie has like super big, beautiful eyes. I always tell her she has like Princess Jasmine eyes. So she's going to be so fun to see this look on. But this look we're doing is pretty universal. She can pull off, we're going to pull the blue all over. Like we're going to do blue liner underneath and smoke it out on the bottom with the blue. And I will show you how to do it if you don't want to be quite so bold. Okay, so we have that brown in place. As you can see, go ahead and close. I just did kind of like a transition color in her crease. Go ahead and look down still. Just to like break it up so we're not like so blue. And then I'm gonna take just a fluffy brush and lightly tap the blue on her lid as a base. And then we're gonna go with a flat brush to really get it to shine. And whenever you work with a bold color, you really have to layer it up.
Whenever I'm teaching lessons, I always say, when you get to that point, because some people have trouble with like bold colors on the lid, when you open your eye or you get to that point where you feel like there's like lines and creases in it, it just means you don't have enough color.
So true.
It's so easy to be afraid, you know, like to be afraid of bright colors like that, and so people tend to like shy away from them, but gotta pack it on there. You
gotta go for it, especially when you first put it on. It looks patchy.
Oh yeah,
so you can't be like, oh, it's not working.
Keep going. Just keep going. You're not done yet. Just keep swimming.
Go ahead and close. Okay, so I've switched brushes. So I went in with a light fluffy brush and I really lightly put it over. It's patchy right now, but now we're gonna go in with a flat shader brush and we're gonna slide it on, and this is when the color truly starts to pop. It has like a metallic sheen to it that's really going to show up if you spread it on the lid. I find that with like the fluffy brushes, it just diffuses the color, but if you're working with anything with a shimmer, you have to use a flat brush or the shimmer will not show up. What are your favorite like bold colors you like to do when you do?
On myself or on clients?
Both.
Let's see. On myself, I love playing with like the dark jeweled tones, just like this color, like the blue.
Yeah.
I love like a dark green on me too. So I use like bottle green from MAC, or there's a really awesome foiled shadow by Makeup Geek. I think it's called, no, it's not. Maybe Magic Act. No, I think that's the gold one. I'm not going to remember what the green one is,
okay.
Unfortunately.
You can tell me after. I'll put it in the
Yes, we'll put it in the comments. In the description.
And then, good to know.
Yeah, it's like this really super vibrant like teal with definitely like a shimmer to it. That one's really fun and I like that. So definitely like the jeweled tones on me I have fun with. I would probably do those on clients too, but obviously it just depends. And most of the time on clients, you know, we're doing more neutral tones or things like that. But I do love to play with green. Like sometimes I'll do like a pop of green under the eye, which is always fun. I love like Sumptuous Olive from MAC. It's a really good, like, kind of neutral green.
That one's super pretty.
I love that one on you, too.
Yeah, I really like that. I think you showed me that color, and I love it. It's, like, so
brings out, like, the green in eyes sometimes. It's really fun. So if I'm doing, like, a neutral look on top with, like, some golds or neutral browns, then I'll do, like, a little pop of the green, like, underneath the eye, and it just, like, really makes the eye color pop. It's fun.
Super pretty.
It's always fun when you get to play with color, especially on clients.
Turn towards me. Totally. Maggie does a lot of bridal.
I do.
So you don't tend to do, like, probably never this on a bride,
Not
I would
so
say.
much. I mean, you know, every once in a while you get the really fun bride. I had a bride once who we did, like, a teal smoky eye on. That was super fun.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
I love it when they do stuff like that because it's, and that's why you hire a makeup artist, because they know how to make it work. Like,
so true, right?
Someone's slapped screen on by themselves, it might not.
Yeah, not
work
the best.
out, but yeah, that was pretty. I think that picture's on your website, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So Maggie, you can find her. She's Mags Kathy. So magskathy.com, Mags Kathy on Instagram. And today she just launched her spa Instagram for her aesthetic studio she just opened up.
Super fun. That one's called Mags Kathy Skin.
And it's amazing. Let's talk about skin because I know a lot of people have questions. So Maggie, she does everything and she's amazing, but she specializes in acne because a lot of times it's very, like, mistreated. Like, people just, we were talking earlier and she was saying how people just throw really harsh products at it and, like, here you go and stuff, and that's not always the best. We want to be gentle to our skin. So tell me some of your favorite things for acne, or kind of what your process is.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say I think I have kind of a different philosophy than some people. You know, I think it's really easy to just throw medication at it or use super intense products right away. I mean, that's so much of what we do, but with intense products, what ends up happening is it's cyclical. You dry it out and do something really intense to get rid of the acne, but then your skin is so dehydrated and so dried out that it ends up just coming back because your skin needs oil to be moisturized, and so it just produces more oil, and then the acne comes back. I've seen that a lot with people with, you know, different really intense lines of products, and it's, you know, ultimately that's not solving the problem on the long-term scale. So what I like to do, and the same goes for medication. I mean, a lot of times I'm seeing clients that their 14-year-old or their 15-year-old or something is going to the dermatologist and getting on super intense medications. And not to say that those medications are not awesome. Sometimes they're definitely necessary and they're, like, the only thing that solves problems. But to be the first step in you know, solving the problem just seems so intense to me, because those things have lasting results throughout your body that some of them we don't even know what the effects could be and what the problems, like, they could cause. So to me, I would rather take a more long-term process to it, even if it takes just a little bit longer. You know, using your body's natural processes, maybe not using products that are quite as intense, a little more natural, things like sulfur clay masks that are really great for drawing out the impurities, balancing the skin, and I'm not going to jump to the super, super intense cleansers and benzoyl peroxides, like, every day, things like that. But another thing that I'm doing that I'm loving is using light therapy, which is phenomenal. It uses LED technology, which was developed by NASA, in case you didn't know. Fun fact for the day.
I didn't know until you told me.
Right?
That's
cool. Super interesting. I feel like, you know, all of us know about LEDs, but you don't really know, like, why they were developed or where they came from.
That's so crazy.
Anyway, so the technology of using them as therapy was, developed by NASA because they used LEDs to grow plants in space. And they figured, this is growing plants, what could it do for us? So they started doing these testing and figured out that it was helping the astronauts with healing. And then, of course, just clinical trials and testing from there, showing that it can do so much healing. And then basically what it's based on is wavelength. I'm not going to go into the crazy science right now because that's just not what this channel's about. But it's fascinating. But basically the colors sort of correlate with how far they reach into your skin.
That's for me.
And that's because of wavelength. But so what I do is in the studio, in the spa, I'm using red light technology, which is, you know, technically we say it's for anti-aging, things like that. But red light can help with increasing circulation, and it can take down inflammation. So I do that in the studio, in the spa, to work on clients, especially those with, like, really inflamed acne. just to help sort of oxygenate the blood and get it moving and take down some of that inflammation. And then I tell my clients to get the blue light, the acne blue light, which the blue light reaches a little not as far into the skin, so it kills bacteria. And they can use that every day, 5 to 7 times a week, to help continuously kill that bacteria. This doesn't make sense for me to do it in spa. It's just going to grow back the next day. So the great thing is they can use that, and it's just working with your body's natural processes instead of hurting you, harming you, things like that. It's working with your body instead of against it, which I just love.
Yeah, it's like not extreme. And even for me, so I get the occasional breakout, but I wouldn't say I'm like acne prone. I more like deal with texture and stuff. But I got a facial from Maggie, and I don't know if it's supposed to do this, but I felt like when you use the light on me, I didn't break out after. Because usually, you know, when you get a facial and you like purge and stuff
definitely.
like that, like I felt like I got all the good things from the facial, but not like
not like the horrible
the breakouts.
bracket.
Yeah, go ahead and look down for me. I'm going to tightline her a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really phenomenal technology, and I use an amazing company called LightStim, and I love them. They were the first company to get clinically approved. So they did clinical testing, not just to prove safety, but to prove efficacy, like that their devices actually worked. What a concept. So they're really phenomenal, and I am using them in my services, and it's super exciting. So I don't know, I take a different approach, I think, than some people, and I'm not going to pick at acne for, you know, an hour and a half and just get some of the surface problems. I want to deal with it from a more holistic, you know, I talk to my clients about what they're eating and what's happening in their life. So many times it's from, you know, they had some sort of sickness or illness or something, and then they got acne and then it never went away. Like, I want to deal with it on a whole system level and talk to them about it and not just sort of solve the immediate problem, you know? So that's my philosophy. That's what I'm doing. It's very exciting.
Look down for me. Well, it is so good. And Maggie is amazing. If you are local, I highly recommend getting a facial.
Yes, come and see me.
She does all skin types. She specializes in acne because she's really good at that and her philosophy works. But
yes, definitely.
My Maggie facials, they're amazing.
Do it all. Come see me. And you can definitely follow me on the new Instagram to see. I'm going to be talking about products that I love, products that I use, different ingredients, why they're great. Just different techniques and things like that. So give it a follow.
I love that. I love seeing that. I always ask Maggie all my skin questions. I feel like skin is like trending right now too.
It's becoming very popular to take care of your skin.
Look
Thank
over
goodness.
this way. Because I feel like people are realizing, like, people love makeup. I feel like now more than ever. Like, there's so many beauty channels. Like,
So
we
true.
love makeup on Instagram. But, like, makeup's awesome. It can cover anything color-wise, but you can't really fix texture with makeup. There's tricks and stuff like that, but really, like, it's all about your canvas. Like, it's all about skin prep. It's all about what you use at night. So
Absolutely.
go ahead and close for me.
It's becoming very popular to take care of your skin. Very trendy, which I'm okay with.
I know. It's good.
It's one trend I'm okay with.
It's totally good. And there's so much good information out there now. Like people like you, like your Instagram where I watch you and you talk about like different products. Like I feel like it's easier to get educated.
There's definitely still a lot of bad info out there though too. So do your research and know who you're learning from.
That's true. Go ahead and look down.
I was looking on Pinterest one day for like, I forget what I was looking for, but I think I was in the middle of remodeling my studio, and so I was looking for like design stuff for esthetician rooms, and oh my goodness, the amount of like horrible advice out there for like, use this at home on your skin, and I was like, please don't do that.
Like the natural remedies.
Like or just like, I mean,
on your face.
I don't know, you know how that goes. It's like one person sees it and goes, oh, that's cool, and then posts it, and suddenly, like, misinformation is just running wild. So, anyways, if you're finding something on Pinterest, definitely, like, click back to the website, see where it's coming from, see if it's just, like, a blogger who just likes skincare or, like, somebody that's actually trained and licensed.
No, that's actually really true. Because unlike makeup, like, makeup washes off, it's fine. You can do whatever you want, but skin.
True. We're talking about,
look down.
like, potentially damaging and things like that. You don't want to hurt yourself.
No. Okay, I'm going to talk you guys through what I have been doing really quick. So when you use the blue, you really want to like keep it isolated. Like you could tell I was building it up for a while. I'm going to clean under her eyes because look forward. I want the blue, with this look, I want the blue to stop about her tear duct, and I'm going to like highlight in her inner eye. You can do, like she can pull off a super smoky look. Like we could bring it around her tear duct and we're going to go underneath and stuff, and that's pretty too. But the more, like the less surface area you cover, the more natural it's going to be. So for this look, we're not going to do that. And then also you'll notice, like I really built it up on the lids. Go ahead and close. And I didn't bring it too high in the crease. Like I blended it really lightly, and then I did the orange color on top. So you really want to isolate your color so it doesn't turn green, like I said, because that's no good. And then go ahead and look forward. When you do blue, I always do eyes first because the blue is going to look like a bruise. Like even if you're really clean and stuff, like I know when I do eyes first, I don't have to be like as like meticulous with not having fallout and stuff like that, but like if she had concealer and I even got a couple drops of blue and I like went to wipe them away, they would just spread and it would look like a bruise, like the blue circles that we try to cover.
Absolutely.
And she doesn't have those, so we're not going to give them to her with makeup.
We don't want to give them to her.
Good.
Please don't.
No. And then I also tight lined her, so we're going to do like a bold lash on her that has like a thick band, so it's going to look like she has eyeliner on a little bit, but I wanted to create a little bit of definition so it wasn't like such a blown out blue color. So I tight lined her. I did black liner right underneath her lashes and right on top, like pressed in. So tight lining is just when, like, instead of doing a thick line on top, you're literally like in between all your lashes, like putting the color. So that's what we did. So I'm going to do her skin, her foundation, and then I'm going to go back and do more on the eyes.
Perfect.
Actually, yeah, I'll do lashes after. Because sometimes, these are long ones, and so sometimes you'll get like the foundation on the, on the lashes.
Cute.
That's no good.
That's no good.
Okay.
I was going to say, you might actually say this eventually, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Go for it.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
You made me think of it because Julie was talking about doing like the orange color and blending that a little bit in and then with the blue. But I just wanted to mention that anytime you're either using blue or like working on blue eyes, as we so often do, anything with like orangey tones in it is really great because complementary colors, orange and blue, are across from each other on the color wheel. So they're super complementary, which is why I'm assuming she chose, because I know her so well, she chose that color. And it's, I mean, it is a great neutral color in the palette, but also it works well because it has those sort of orangey undertones, and so it really complements the blue nicely. And it would also complement like blue eyes if you were just doing a super natural, like neutral look.
Exactly.
Just something to throw in there.
It's like great to have you because I don't have to explain the whole time. I can be like, okay, Maggie, tell them.
Over to Maggie.
I'll have to have Maggie back.
Well, also
She's
I'm annoying and I'm just going to insert myself.
She's
so.
adorable. I feel like we're best friends, and I feel like we're like the perfect yin yang. Like you're like, I'm the blonde, you're the brunette, I'm the shy one, you're like the extrovert. It's awesome.
It's true. Julie and I filmed a like makeup course for professional makeup artists. And it's hilarious because we are totally like, that's like, I feel like when we saw the most of our opposites is when we were like on camera together, like teaching. And it was really funny because Julie is a little more like subdued and like more nervous, and I'm like, ah! Like,
I was so nervous. I had never been on camera before.
Yeah, that's like, it's
a
big adjustment, you know?
Yeah.
And I have a theater background, so I'm a little bit like.
Oh yeah, she's fine. She's adorable.
But it was funny.
Turn this way towards me.
I'm trying not to do too much of my, yes. In our video, anytime Julie was talking, I'd be like, yes. And Julie would be watching it. She'd be like, why do you look so concerned? I'm like, I'm agreeing with you. I'm really listening.
That's awesome. Just wear a little heart on your sleeve.
I'm just really paying attention. Oh, thank you for touching up my neck.
The neck. A teeny bit of redness today. You don't usually.
I always like blend into the neck, even if you're using the exact same color. Even if they don't have like a ton of redness or things like that, it's so much easier because it still just looks like perfect, you know, perfectly covered on the face, and then suddenly you have skin texture, because let's face it, we all have skin texture, whether it's like freckles or just texture in general. So it always looks better if you just blend into the neck.
I do too. especially for like bridal or something like that.
Oh,
Anytime
totally.
there's cameras, because it photographs different.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks more like seamless. You're good. You can tell, well, I don't know, but it looks like you wear sunscreen and stuff like that. But most people will have like, you know, their neck, their chest is tan.
That's
and
true.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to age well, wear your sunscreen because
So true.
you know, people take good care of their face, but they forget
Your décolleté is important as well, y'all.
Never know how to say that word.
Décolleté.
I used to say décolletage.
That's correct too, technically.
Okay.
I think it's depending on what like language you're technically basing it off of. Décolleté, décolletage.
Yeah.
I think décolletage is like French. I don't know, actually.
Okay, so maybe I was
Just saying things right
saying
now. But
bougie.
technically they are both correct. And from a skincare perspective, sun damage is the main cause of extrinsic, which means like outside aging factors. Sun damage
That's
is what makes
crazy.
you age the most. So wear your sunscreen.
Wear your sunscreen. Which sunscreen do you like?
Well, the line that I use in spa and on myself at home is called Dermastetics Beverly Hills. They're wonderful. And I use their sunscreen on myself and on clients. It's great. It's SPF 50, and it is broadband, so it's both chemical and physical sunscreen, which is nice because it just covers all your bases.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit of that sort of pasty look, but it's not too much. Like if you're only using physical sunscreen, it's like all zinc or titanium dioxide. That's when you get like that really white. You put it on your skin and you're like, oh, cute.
The titanium dioxide.
When it's, or zinc,
that's why
when
they
it's
say
like
not
white.
to do that with
But
foundation.
if you, but this one is nice because it's mixed, so it's not super pasty. And it doesn't feel greasy or anything. I love it. I just mix it right in with my moisturizer and put it on.
Does it do flashback ever?
Nope.
Have you done it on clients?
I
Have
have.
you tested it?
I have. It does not flashback.
That's so
I think
good.
just because I don't use a ton of it either. You know, I mean, if I was using it on a bride, which honestly I don't ever usually do. Usually, if a bride's gonna wear sunscreen, I tell them to put it on.
Before.
Yeah, beforehand.
Yeah.
But on myself or anything like that, because I just I put some moisturizer on my hand, and then I just put like the smallest dab of the SPF on my hand, and then just sort of rub it together. So
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it diffuses really well.
Tracy. It's so hard to do on camera. I'm trying not to be in your way so everyone can see.
Just
Yeah,
cover me
that's
while I'm
good.
talking. It's fine.
I'll have to try that foundation because I'm always like, it's hard to find a foundation sunscreen that
Yeah.
you can wear under your foundation every day because it
True.
changes like sometimes
Change
they're
the
very
consistency.
thick.
I agree.
Yeah, or it doesn't like wear the same and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people don't like foundations with SPF in them. Like,
Yeah.
You know, from a makeup artist perspective, you worry about flashback, but I like it for every day. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
of
one less
course.
step, but
Of course.
I don't think they work as well as like an actual like sunscreen.
I know. And the nice thing about it is because people always ask me like, oh, does the, like when I'm talking about moisturizers and stuff, they're like, oh, does it have SPF in it? And it's funny how as a society we've become so like, we just want easiness. So we're like,
Yeah.
does it have both? But the nice thing about having them separate, honestly, is that you don't have to wear it at night then. Like you put your moisturizer on with the SPF in the morning, but then at night when you wash your face and you put your moisturizer on, you're not putting sunscreen on for no reason.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of prefer having them separate, and you don't use
That's
as much of your
true.
sunscreen. Like it lasts longer. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
true.
nice.
Because when I have like a BB cream, something with the sunscreen in it, I won't I'll use a separate
yeah, moisturizer or
moisturizer
something.
at night.
Yeah.
Hair on you, your cute little babies. So I'm just
My
doing like
baby
a
hairs.
total. She has like great skin, obviously. She's an esthetician. But she's pretty balanced. But I've told you guys before, I always powder a little bit for the camera because these lights are so bright. It's gonna look like beaming like any high point. So I powder the middle of the face.
I always powder myself a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like much more normal skin wise than I used to be, but depending on the foundation I'm using for the day of, I usually will always just sort of powder even in my T-zone a little bit if I want to have a little bit of glow everywhere else, but I'm still sort of more like normal to combination, so I can get a little oily throughout the day on my T-zone, things like that. I think most of us need a little bit of
Yeah.
powder in our T-zone at least.
I feel like it wears better when you like lightly
Yeah, I mean,
layer
it's-
your makeup.
It's like Yeah, it's called setting powder for a reason.
So true.
Bronze me.
So we're just going to contour her a little bit. We like to do her forehead and under her cheeks.
Yes.
I don't usually need to contour your jawline.
I always do.
Do you?
I'm one of those people,
do it.
I mean, you can do what you want, girl. But I'm definitely one of those people that, you know, there's a way to do contour, and I know Julie has taught you guys well with contour and highlight and things like that, because the contours that we see so often on Instagram and YouTube these days are just not, they're not what actually looks good in real life. So many people, you know, some people will be like, oh, wow, you wear contour every day. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like, you know, cream contouring like people that I will not say names of. But, you know, doing a little bit of powder contour, I feel naked if I don't wear contour, because I just feel like it gives your skin, it gives your face definition, you know, which we want. My everyday makeup look is like foundation, powder, contour, blush, eyebrows, mascara. That's it. Because sadly, I don't have time anymore to do full makeup eye looks anymore. But
she's a mom too, guys. She's like the cutest little girl in the world. She's a redhead. Crazy, huh?
I know. Look at me. Look at me. I'm like, I always said I'm a giant dominant gene, and my child is a little walking recessive gene.
But you guys, like,
she has blue eyes and red hair.
She's like your twin though. Like, I feel like you guys have like the same
I love you. You're so great for saying that.
Shape. But yeah,
nobody else will say that. Everyone else.
I feel like she does. She has like your little cutesy like smile.
She looks a lot like me when I was her age too, but people refuse to. Even my mother. I'm gonna make her watch this, and she'll be like, Maggie.
I love your mom.
My mom. Hi, Mom. My mom, anytime somebody's like, oh, she looks like you, my mom will be like, no, she doesn't. Like, Mom, and I'll be like, Mom, she looks like me when I was little. And she's like, no, she looks just like your husband. I'm like, ugh.
That's so funny.
Fine. She does look a lot like my husband, but
I think she looks like you.
Thank you.
You can come to me when you need
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. My hope is that the next one will just look like me, and then we'll just have like two little mini-me's walking around. It'll be perfect.
Okay, I feel like, tell me if this is true in the comments, you guys, at least from what I've seen in my family. I feel like the girls look like their dad, and I feel like the boys look like their mom.
Oh, it's my dream.
It's not scientific, but
it's not.
Clearly,
not so much.
That's what I've seen.
But I think that can be true sometimes. I'm hoping for it. I just want a little boy that looks just like me, that has like, actually, I would be okay with brown hair and blue eyes though. That would be fun.
That'd be cute.
And then my husband could have my little redheaded munchkin with blue eyes. And
she has curly hair.
It's going straight though,
which is going straight?
Sad. I don't know. We'll see.
Sad.
We'll see what happens. When it's humid though, it's like boing.
Okay, I'm gonna do, I don't think I'm gonna highlight you very much. I'm gonna use the Hourglass palette. I love this so much. Do you have this?
Can I cross my legs?
Yes. Lift your cheek for me, the bottom one. Thanks.
I don't tend to highlight myself as much because, as we know, with highlight, we're just highlighting. We're highlighting. Anytime I explain that to people, I'm like, highlighting is literally just what it's called, highlighting. And so many times I see people, you know, and they're over highlighting this area especially, and if you have like texture or acne or things like that, all you're doing is highlighting those, which is a no bueno. So I don't tend to highlight myself a lot right here because I do have some texture. So just things to keep in mind.
It's true. It's a good makeup roll. I love it though. You know, if you have textured skin
glow
and
nice.
You want to glow, you glow.
Oh yeah, you do what you want.
As a general rule.
Agreed.
It's true.
That's like people that come to me and they're like, you know, 50 something, and they're like, I was told not to wear shimmery eyeshadow, and I'm like, forget that. I'm like, listen, everyone's different, but
go ahead and look up.
I think that a little shimmer can be fun sometimes. So
I feel like once you know the makeup rules too, like you can break them. Like you know where to put shimmer, or like how boring if you always have to wear mattes.
I know, so sad.
I have one of the very first videos I ever did was my mom, my adorable mom.
I love your mom.
And we were like
great.
literally,
hi Mom.
Hi Mom.
In case you're
we were like literally practicing. We were gonna delete it, but I left it up, and it's like one of my most
it's so
viewed
cute.
videos
I know.
now. But I did shimmer on her lid because I was showing like how you can, you know, kind of break the rules and stuff like that. And people like are very passionate in the comments about like if you should do shimmer and stuff like that. And it's
people
just so
opinions.
funny.
You have your opinions if you want. Go for it.
It's true.
It is true, though. I mean, there are, like, hard and fast makeup rules, and to some extent, I agree that, like, you know, there's probably just certain things that, like, shouldn't be done or are not recommended, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it is an art, so do what you want. Especially if it's on yourself. If you're working on a client as a professional, that's a different story. You know, we should have, you know, things and guidelines that we follow as professionals. But if you're working on yourself and you're doing your own makeup, do what makes you happy. Do what you want.
Exactly. And know when to use it. Like blink for me so that, good. For photo shoots and stuff like that where I'm worried about reflected lights and stuff like that, I will do all mattes or like wedding, you know, I'll
definitely. There's a time and place for everything, but, and you know, if I had a client that had like very droopy or very wrinkly eyelids, then I probably wouldn't use a lot of shimmer because that's just going to highlight that. But, you know, if it's, I don't know, I had a mother of the bride one time who actually asked me that at her trial. She was so cute, and she was like, so my niece told me that I should never wear shimmery eyeshadow, you know?
Yeah.
And here I am, like, putting gold on her lid. And I'm like, well, here's the deal. But she was stunning. She was gorgeous. She had perfect skin. I don't think she had ever had any work done. But she was, like, no wrinkles. Like, she had no, you know, wrinkles on her eyelids. She had no folded skin or anything. So for somebody like that, I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, wear the shimmer. It just made her eyes sparkle and be so beautiful. So
totally. Yeah, that's awesome.
Take things like that with a grain of salt.
Plus, it's like fun. Like when you go makeup shopping.
You're good. I'm just a little itch.
Give you a little Q-tip if you need one.
No, I'm good.
Okay, you guys saw I'm holding a little cotton pad under her eyes because remember we have the concealer on now, so we didn't want to turn that blue. So this shadow is super, super pigmented and it's really pretty, but you do have to layer it. So I did the same thing, fluffy blending brush, and then I went in with a pencil brush. The more dense your brush is, the more product you're going to be able to lay down. And then this is just an angled brush. I'm just putting it on like eyeliner. It would be great if you had a blue eyeliner, like Makeup Forever and Urban Decay have amazing eyeliners.
Urban Decays, I love them. They're like
the
24/7 glide-ons or whatever. I mean, I rarely ever carry like pencil liners anymore in my kit, but like for a personal use, those are pretty great. They're just so smooth and creamy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, tickles.
I know. So weird to have somebody else like
I haven't had we were just saying, like, I don't remember when the last time I had my makeup done. It was actually probably Julie who did it.
Probably.
But it was a while ago.
It's like there's no greater honor than having a makeup artist like ask you to do their makeup. It's like, you trust me? That's
when
awesome.
Julie and I first met, I was like, I had just had a baby. And so I like constantly, she would come over to hang out with me and I'd be like all slobby and I'd be like, can you do my makeup? Like, I never had my makeup done, like, ever, because I didn't really have any close friends who were makeup artists or people that I like trusted. As I actually did the makeup myself for my wedding. Crazy.
I know, it looks great.
Thank you. But today, I would never do that.
We didn't know each other, guys. I would have done
no, absolutely. I always say, I'm like, it worked for me at the time, but now, like, I know I have two very good friends who are amazing makeup artists, and I would let them do my makeup in a heartbeat. But, so every time, like, Julie came over, she just thought she was coming to hang out with me, and I'd be like, can you just do my makeup? Just so I can feel like a normal person.
You're so cute. So I did get some blue under her eyes, so I'm taking it off. So this is my water, her poor eyes. We tested this blue color before we went live, and then we had to take it off. And it's intense.
So I was rubbing my eye a lot.
Yeah.
That's right.
But they look good. They don't look red or anything.
Good. Good. I was just thinking that when you were doing the waterline, I was like, Julia is being mean to me because I'm a makeup artist, because also it's for camera angles, but I was like pointing the brush like above your eye.
I know.
I'm like,
so sorry.
Staring directly. It's okay. I can handle it, thankfully, because I'm very used to having something near my eye. But it's so funny. Usually, as makeup artists, like for clients, we always tell people to look like put the brush not in their eyesight, basically in their line of sight, you know, right? Or like have them look away when you're doing it over here and stuff. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, Julie, she's putting it directly in my eye.
There's no other way. I'm still having my camera angles.
Well, it's definitely hard to do.
Be in this one.
It's so hard to do makeup on camera. It's super awkward. You're like, let me just naturally do this side of your face, and I can't see anything.
It's really intense.
It's really awesome.
But it's good, you know, works out. You're looking beautiful.
Okay.
I
can't wait to see it.
I know, I'm excited to. It looks so pretty. Okay, we're gonna put on lashes and lips, and we're gonna be done. Sadly. having so much fun with Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay, these are, what brand is this? Oh, these are Vicky's lashes. They're so pretty. I think this is a European company. Yeah, they're really fluffy, but like they're really well made. You know how sometimes when they're so dense and so thick, they're like doll or like drag or something,
yeah.
Which I love. I love
I mean, they have a place, but definitely it's nice to kind of have those ones that are like big and bold, but still fluffy and
totally. And for this look, I wanted lashes that had a really thick band on the bottom because I want it to look like eyeliner. Okay, go ahead and look down. So these lashes are super pretty and they're super thick. So you'll see like it really ties everything together because sometimes the blue is like, it'll just look out of place until you have the liner on.
True. Also with like a big bold thing like this, you usually need like some form of lash or something because if you're doing such a bold color and like a bold makeup look, I just think oftentimes it looks incomplete without, you know, like some bigger lashes. I mean, unless you're just naturally like, and so luckily endowed with beautiful lashes. Good for you. But I feel like it looks more like if you didn't do lashes, it looks more like editorial, like beauty magazine, where it's like you do one bold thing and then everything else is neutral. But I feel like, especially with the makeup trends now, I feel like you need a lash to, I mean, you can do what you want, but I like a lash to balance it. Yeah, me too. That's the biggest thing for me is balance.
Especially on the everyday person, like lashes, like the reason why I'm obsessed is because they make everybody look so pretty.
I'm just stuck over here. Check right here in the corner.
Look up. You're good.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to do speed round of favorite products because lashes are really boring to watch put on. So
Okay. Speed round. Favorite products.
Favorite products for mature skin.
Okay. Well, my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder is like my holy grail, as is Julie's, because I know she uses that too.
I love it.
That's like for everybody, but definitely for mature clients as well. I love it because it doesn't settle as much or make, I mean, you still have to be very gentle with somebody with a lot of wrinkles, but it tends to work a little bit better. So I love that one.
Look down.
Let's see what else. I love NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, or Radiant Creamy Concealer, whatever. It's one of my favorite concealers, especially for mature or for really dry skin. I like that it's got a good coverage. It's thick, but it's doesn't settle too terribly into fine lines, and it's really creamy and hydrating, which I like.
It's okay. I feel like under eye concealers are like the hardest to find because you want it to be full coverage, but you don't want it.
You don't want it to be cakey.
Texture.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good one.
It's so easy. Oh,
you good?
Inner corner. Always fun to do a makeup artist makeup. We're like,
I know. It's hard to do lashes while you have somebody talk. Usually, like clients, I'm like, don't talk. We're doing lashes.
I know. Seriously.
This is a secret time.
This is a secret time. Hush. Hush, hush.
Okay. So, Creamy Radiance, Laura Mercier. What do you set the under eye with? Do you like the Laura Mercier or do you use the Secret Brightening powder?
I have both. Sometimes I use Secret Brightening. I usually find myself reaching for the regular translucent setting powder more often, I think. But yeah. I do love Secret Brightening too. It has its place for sure. I just feel like my inner corner is popping down or
poking you.
Like
I'm gonna put a little more
maybe
glue
just
on
a little
it.
low.
It's a little low.
Lashes are always tricky. With sometimes if you feel like, I have clients all the time who, you know, they're like, oh, it's just something's like sticking or poking, and sometimes it kind of works if you just sort of like pull it out a little bit, like just release it from the glue a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like too tight or it's stuck to like one lash, you know, that is pulling it or something weird.
It's the inner corners. I always like
tricky.
Make sure. So like these thicker bands, like you'll notice, I'm sure you've seen this, like they have kind of an extended inner corner like with no lashes. And I usually cut it off, but Maggie's eyes are so big that I left it on, big and beautiful. I left it on and I kind of like the look of like the darkness there. Yeah, so that's like what you have to be so careful. And this side is hard for me to see, but
it's better.
Yeah, it's very good.
As long as it looks good.
Look good. It's looking beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty. We're going to do lips and mascara.
I can feel them.
And then we're going to show her. I know, these ones are thick, so you'll feel them. I feel like once the glue dries, though, you don't feel them.
No, I mean, I can feel them, like, if I look up and they touch my,
my
eyelids. I'm like,
I love that.
I love when that happens. Okay, I will not talk for this part.
I know. Lick your teeth. I got lipstick on your teeth. Good job. Okay. We're just doing a nude lip for this because the eyeshadow is so bold. So I mixed like 3 things. I need to not mix for this because people always ask like what lip color I use. And like sorry, I was like 5. And I mixed them. I mixed Honey Love and Verve and one other thing that has like a cool brown base. Open for me.
It's so hard not to mix when you have a palette.
I know. Yeah, I depotted my lipsticks, which is amazing if you're a makeup artist.
I don't know if that made sense. Palette. That's really hard to say without a P. Yeah, when you have that, it's really hard not to like want to mix the colors because they're all right there next to each other. So I almost never use just one color.
Me neither. I always mix because then it's like perfect. It's custom for the client.
Yep.
Even liquid lipsticks now, like
I know. Just put them on a palette. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Stila one and the Anastasia because they dry a little bit slower. So like you can mix it and you can put it on with a brush.
Yeah, totally. I like doing that too.
Yeah, it's good.
It's nice for like being on set, like. Not so much photo shoot, but more like music video, things like that. Liquid lips are nice because they're going to last a little longer, so we tend to like mix them for things like that.
Yeah, they're really awesome for that. Even like brides, it depends on the brand though, because you don't want it to like wear like to get patchy and stuff like that. But
yes. A lot of times, if brides like want to go find their own color, like I'll recommend either Anastasia or Stila. I like those ones because they're a little bit movable, which I kind of prefer for a wedding day because you don't want to like accidentally mess them up or accidentally, you know what I mean? Like you want them to stay, but at the same time it's almost nicer if they'll like, you know, they're easy to touch up. Like, I don't know, that's just my personal preference too. I don't love the like very, very intense ones. So
yeah,
I like the Stilas and things like that. They hold, but they're not super drying or...
It's a little more
Look at that little baby tube. Okay, it's so tiny.
So cute. Okay, I have a sad story about this. So I have like the teeny little mascaras, and they're like amazing for my kit. And then the mascara wands like go inside, go down. So Sephora had this thing. You know how they have like their favorites?
Yeah.
And you buy like a box. So I bought a box of like 5 different trial lashes for I think it's like $20-something. And then you go in and they give you a coupon and you can get any full mascara you want. So you try
right. Yes, I've seen that.
It's amazing, but I think it's discontinued. Like they still have their favorites, but not the lashes. And I'm obsessed with like the little...
That's a bummer.
The little ones.
They are so cute.
I know, they're so adorable. Go ahead and look up.
It's like little mini ketchup bottles.
I know.
They're just so adorable.
And it kind of does, like, I have my favorite mascaras, but I do fake lashes on, like, everybody. So it kind of doesn't matter. Like, they're all going to work.
And it's nice to try different ones, honestly, because mascara is one of those things. Oh, my gosh, I have so many clients that ask, you know, like, what's your favorite mascara?
It's like, well, for what?
I know, and it's so hard because, honestly, a lot of times, too, it's so personal. You know, something that really, really works well for somebody doesn't work as great for somebody else. So you really kind of have to try different ones, but...
Yeah.
Oh!
So pretty. Look your teeth. Sorry, guys. Okay.
I do that with
Final reveal. Let me find you a mirror. Right here. Don't hold it up in front of the camera. Okay, first we're going to flash her before, because she started with brows. She did her brows, actually. They're beautiful. Okay, so this is her before, and this is her after. Here you go.
Oh, look.
You look so good in blue. Like, it blows my mind.
It's really fun on brunettes, because it's just, like, the contrast of the dark hair and stuff, and I have lighter skin, so the contrast, oh my gosh, it's so fun,
Such
Julie.
a babe, and you match my backdrop.
I totally match the backdrop.
That wasn't planned. All right, Maggie, you're the best. Thanks for being my model.
I'm so glad I was here today.
Go follow Maggie on Instagram and come back next Thursday for another live. See ya.
Bye.